All right. How's everybody doing? Uh, Welcome to Q's house. First one of 2021. Yeah, I've been out for a bit. This episode was supposed to happen like uh, June, July. But then I had some issues. I had a hernia repair. I had got a bunch of other stuff I won't get into. So feeling better. Um, so here I am. So I picked UFC versus boxing, and I'll explain why it's just UFC. So I these are two sports that I love watching. And sometimes on the weekend, it's like, man, they're both on. What am I going to watch? Like, who's the main fight? Who's on the undercard? So, kind of decide back and forth. But like, start off, UFC has been around, you know, since 1993, give or take. The sport of MMA itself has been around for a very long time, but it wasn't really molded into, oh, let's have an event and here's all these belts. Some of those stuff was like, you know, with itself. That's the name of itself, mixed martial arts. So you got some dude that was um, a karate guy, judo, kung fu, ninja, or whatever else. And then they just combine the different fighting styles. Brawler, fighter, like Mr. T tossing a midget on the bar, stuff like that. And then in time, it got molded into something. Someone said, "Hey, let's put this together. Let's promote it, make an event," and it was called the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So, and that was back in, okay, you get some dates. My writers gave me this. So, in November 12th, 1993, the first Ultimate Fighting Championship was uh, was conducted. Um, your famous dude in a little white thing, Royce Gracie. He was he won. He participated in it, so that was one of the first ones. When it comes into boxing, boxing has been around a very very long time. I mean, very long time. It's up there with golf. So that started in January 6th, 1681, and that was the first recorded match. It could have happened way before too, because people have been fighting at bars. I don't know, since, what do you say, the Spartans? uh, so those the first recorded one for each one. We had an actual major event. UFC, 1993. Boxing recorded match, 1681. And the difference from each one is like boxing has so many different belts. That's why sometimes you're like, okay, who's fighting? Is it WBO, IBO? What's going on with it? Who's the one? What belt are we watching? That's why it makes it complicated sometimes when you watch it, because you're like, oh, it's an interim belt, interim, and then you're like, all right, let's watch it. Then this guy's got to mold and come up, and promoters got to help him get a good fight. With UFC, it's just UFC, and it's just that belt, but they don't combine with other ones like Bellator and Sean Merriman's Lightning something. I forgot what it was. My bad, Sean. Oh, but anyway, so the thing is like there's those sports for humans that we've been watching other people beat themselves up and kill themselves up and end up with hamburger meat. It's been like that. We've enjoyed watching that stuff. Gladiators, Spartans back again. And even the Aztecs. The Aztecs had a sport. It was like, Aztec basketball where the losers died and people were cheering. So it's part of human nature to a point now. that, you know, we watch other people get beat up and cheer. In school, come on, don't lie. Many of you made a big circle and watch the girls pull each other's hair out, rip each other's clothes off, and everything else. Guys sitting there after school, I'm going to meet you at 3. Dude, if it was that bad, fight me right now. I'll hit you with this desk or my book or stab you with a pencil. But people will watch. You know, they'll stop the teachers from coming in and stuff like that. So as human nature, people are like, oh, let's see what's going on. And what's over is like, oh my God, that was so sad. You weren't sad when we were watching it. But UFC has taken, you know, has been the number one product when it comes to MMA. Dana White, markets and markets and markets. We had the COVID thing. It was like, who wants to fight? You want to fight? Here's a check. Come on, come on. And people want to do it, and they were doing it, and people wanted to watch. So of course it kept getting sold out. Same thing with boxing. Boxing, even at times when you're like, Mayweather. Sorry, Merriman. I'm still talking about your. Mayweather. He wasn't just getting people watch him just because he was good. Many people watch him in order for him to lose. So many were stuck on, hey, watch this dude lose, shed his mouth, someone break his jaw, because that's how I grew up. You talk too much shit, I'm breaking your jaw, and you won't ever talk shit no more. But no one could because he kept running and doing this thing. But just people love those combat sports. People love watching just going back and forth and just either the technical, the violence, the shit talking, the promotion, you know, a great fight that goes toe to toe and it's just back and forth. You know, sometimes you just want to watch Mike Tyson knock somebody out in 30 seconds, which you were not allowed to leave to go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do anything else, tell a joke to your friend because you just missed a knockout. And at that time, it was like you couldn't rewind to it. So it's that, you know, everything the camaraderie. We'll watch old guys fight. UFC. Gracie just tried to fight. It was like, oh, he's gonna fight. Let's watch him. Why? Because he can still kill somebody. Maybe he would. Maybe break somebody's arm. Was back in the day, they wouldn't stop till the arm broke in an arm bar. Someone actually pass out completely. So, and then in boxing, you know, we're watching old dudes, you know, come on. Who did not want to watch Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.? And you're like, yeah, keep going. And I'm like, man, I want to see Tyson knock him out. I thought he was going to make it past the 4th round. I thought Tyson would knock out Roy Jones Jr. in the 4th round. But no, but it kind of threw it off because it was exhibition, 2 minutes. I think they only went to 10 rounds. But at the end, they asked Tyson, hey, you good? You know, what do you think? You want to do it again? And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do it again. Okay, so you think about going to comeback? No, I just do it for charity, which is cool because, you know, he kind of can beat somebody up and not get in trouble no more. But Roy Jones Jr., no, Obo is like, would you want to do this again? He's like, and he's thinking like, man, that one to the rib, that one over here, like, oh my God, this dude could have like put me in two. So his political response was, well, let me think about it, talk to the family. He's not going to try to make money. It was just for charity. But he was reliving some of those punches immediately once he had that question. But we were watching it. He's going to fight again. Bernard Hopkins, that dude fought. So he was almost 50. Watching the old dude. We're watching the alien sitting there trying to box. Yeah, like, dude, because he could. And he was still doing productive. He still had a belt. So it was in there. So between both of them, it's like, which one is better? It's hard to say. Because on UFC, any given match, someone's getting knocked out. someone's getting choked out. Which at first I didn't like UFC because there was guys that were championship and it had like 6 fights. I'm like, you didn't prove nothing. But it took boxers like 20 to 30 fights before they made it up. But it's because there were different belts. You know, there's so many people in certain weight classes, and it's not just, oh, we're watching IBO boxing only. Most people don't know that there's different belts, and they just, oh, because they want it because it's that match. No, some they want it because it's that organization of boxing that's controlling the belt. And then there's multiple belts, and some belts like, hey, this dude has like 5 belts. Like, well, that one's plastic. Don't worry about that one. But it's only 3. It's only 3 major ones. And once you get the top 3, you get the Ring Magazine, you know, Ultimate Belt. Forgot the name of it, but it's the one that looks like the Rocky Belt, the red, white, and blue. That's the one. And so once you hit to that one, that's saying you're the top and you're the main, you know, champion for that weight class. And then there's multiple weight classes, which I won't get into that because there's so many. I think they keep creating one just to throw me off. And UFC has the same thing. They just don't have that many. But once the difference from from boxing is like, you can sit there and watch it. You know, some people got bored because when it was 15. But sometimes when the guys go so back and forth and it's kind of tired, you might need the 15. Nowadays they get at 12 and there's draws. There's draw over and over and over. Like, dude. And it depends who was the favorite, you know, Vegas child, that person will get a win. And well, whatever mafia person was controlling the bet too. So it's different. It's different for each one. It's hard to really say which is which, depending on, are you actually doing, you know, jujitsu? Then okay, maybe you want to do the boxing and, I mean, the UFC stuff and focus on that, and that's your thing. But as a sports fan, for me, I enjoy both. I enjoy both, but I generally just pick certain people that, like, okay, look, this person actually fits the mold of what that sport is. And you like McGregor, you can watch McGregor and he could, yeah, he can knock you out. He has that power. But overall, there's not a he's not the same as if you were watch uh like a Max Holloway. You can watch him. He's got something for everything, but yet some of his power wasn't always there. But he was. I'd watch the dude like, dude. You can watch Diaz and be like, oh yeah, but he's got his flaws there. But let Diaz, his face would look like hamburger meat, but he can go forever. You know, Iceman can do it. All these guys had different levels of that said, okay, this is this is more like, oh, I'm not just gonna get behind you and choke you out, or I'm gonna punch the shit at you, or I'm gonna kick your legs over and over, or I'm gonna, you know, armbar you, everything. It wasn't just one. If because they all don't focus on one. Nowadays they don't. Which goes back to what MMA, a lot of it, Bruce Lee did a lot of those things. He did a lot of stuff where I don't want to just know one thing. I want to know every single thing. I'm going to fight. I'm going to know how to do these things. I want different levels. The more different levels you can do, the more you can see the angles of what's going on. You know, this person might come at a certain angle. Okay, I can do this move because I've done this. I have this belt and this martial arts. I have this. I understand this. You just train. And so it MMA, it's different. It's not the same mold as what it was before. Now it's pretty much across the board, a lot of different things. So to me, now it's more interesting. Now it's more like, hey, you just can't get in and say, okay, I'm going to win because I just beat the 2 people in the bar. It doesn't work that way. Uh, You beat up several people in the backyard, like Slice, it's a whole different thing. but but in boxing, it's like some people are athletic enough to do boxing. Many times you had to start when you were young. But if you can take the hit, you can understand the hit more than one just the face. If you can dip and slide and turn and pivot, if you can sit there and just be accurate and and not look like Nate Robinson, that shit. That's all I remember him now. I don't remember him dunking over Shaq. I don't remember him dunking over uh, Howard. Uh, I just remember him looking like Marquez. He was like this on the floor, man. I like, why was that on TV? I was like, no, why is it? The best part of that whole area was watching Snoop, you know. Okay, no. Tyson, take it back. Tyson, and Roy Jones Jr. was still the best part. But no more of these YouTube guys coming on there thinking they're cool. That's not working. Well, in boxing, this YouTube guy is a little different. But it's it's boxing takes a lot, and it takes certain human beings to be able to do boxing in those manners. It's almost impossible to be undefeated. It's rare. Hardly anybody's done it. It's hard to go over 50 fights, professional fights, not street fights, not amateur fights. Because Lomachenko has like 300 something boxing amateur fights, right? I think he's got like 2 uh, gold medals, Olympic gold medals. So that's a lot of fighting. And then to only have, I think like he's only on 10 professional fights, right? So he's molded himself into understanding which way to go, or his team, his parents, everything that's been around him molded him into that thing. Uh, Oscar, he had his way too. I still think he was pampered into which way he boxed. Uh, he should have been a little bit more. He would just try to keep too clean and not understand. He was technical. He understand what to do. I watched him, yes. But was he one of the greatest? No. Was he up there? Yes. He won a belt. He fought some people. He fought people that had belts. People, So yeah. So I'm not gonna. Can he be a Hall of Famer? Yes. But he was missing things. He was missing the "I'm gonna kill you" concept. And and that's the part for me as the whole gladiator concept. Like I said earlier, if you're gonna get in the ring and you're taking the other person's head off, you're choking the shit out of them. You're doing whatever you do so you win, without trying to bite their ear off, because you don't win biting the ear off. Back to Tyson. So it's these two sports are so hard to really compare, to me, if you're the fan of what each one represents. I can I'll go like this. When it comes to for the history, okay, boxing takes it for how long they've been doing it. So there's more, you know, more more history into those styles of fighters, and more things that you remember. Just saying, Cesar Cesar Chavez himself, he goes over like 3 decades or something like that, 100 fights. So in that's a lot of boxing history in just one person, and you can't say that with MMA, UFC. It's hard to go that one, because the amount of hitting and amount of pressure, the time of how much the each round is different. So it's like it'll wear you out. So it's kind of hard to go like that. So for me, for history, I'll give it to boxing. For the platform that you can sit there and say, "Oh, I want to watch a fight," and you don't care if it's a guy or girl, UFC, because UFC has been able to bring out some great female warriors from that part. And in boxing, you have here and there you get like a name, but that's kind of it. We haven't got to the point where boxing has it, even though it's been long for a long time, where boxing has women being the main part to it. Not to say they can't fight. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is just its mold has not been focused on women being a boxing style. Like, damn, she knocked out every single person, and let's keep promoting it because the promotion part isn't the same. Dana White grabs somebody and say, "Here you go. I'm taking that person, and I'm running with it," because he'll pick and choose who he wants to run with. There's so many promoters in boxing that doesn't work the same. So UFC, if you want to watch a woman or a man fight or um, match, I'm gonna watch that one. When it goes to like if it gets if it's just UFC and boxing when it comes to like how long it's gonna be, uh, draw. They last about the same now, so it's not like you're gonna sit there like, oh, the fight's gonna be on, you know. So yeah, you can get knocked out on either one, but so it's still a draw because yeah, we don't have a Tyson. We were going through times where a lot of back in the 80s and 90s, yeah, people could 1 or 2 rounds, someone got knocked out, fight was over. UFC nowadays, you can watch a lot of people. You can watch one card, and almost everybody gets knocked down the first round. So yeah, it's a draw. But as in names and how to get into it, it goes back and forth. It's another draw. It's like which way do you go? Uh, Depends on who you are. Uh, I like watching both. I hit a point where I was always boxing, and once in a while, like a lot of the boxers kind of died out, and I just watched a little bit more into UFC. But now it's like, hey, well, who's on? Who's this? Here, I'm watching it. I'm watching it. Let me just see. Let me understand because now they both hit the point where it's like, okay, if this person wins, this is who to fight next, and then who to fight next. So both have got to the point where you can see which way they're going. There's no more a whole bunch of let's watch this tournament and they're all going to fight. And some of those get too far because they're going to get tired. It's not the same thing. Not everybody's fresh. It's kind of a dud at a certain point. But so overall, it's a draw. I'll watch both of it. You know. So I hope you enjoy this. I was trying to take. Let me see real quick if I can get some. If you have any questions, if my mouse decided nope, I don't have any questions. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming on. I said sorry for the delay. It's been a long time since I've been on here. Um, I hope you enjoyed it. Um, hey, give me some comments. I'm gonna do like everybody else. Like, subscribe, give me some comments. Uh, Definitely give me some feedback. I want to know how I did. Hey, I didn't do the mic test, so if you didn't hear me and I just looked like this the whole time, I'm sorry. But hey, tell me what you think. Which one's better? UFC, boxing? Which? Tell me. Give me. I want to do this. Give me your 2 best UFC fighters and 2 best boxers. Okay. Uh, Thank you. Appreciate it. Um, Watch more sports. Watch more of this. See you next time. God bless. And